Welcome, Merry Mate. You are joining Country Dwellers. I am Runa, and I'm here with my lovely sister, MareLin. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am as well as can be expected. I know that our listeners out there are feeling the angst and the pressure of everything that's coming up, both skywise as well as here on this plane with the election and everything like that. It's very heavy. It's very heavy, and I think our self-care section today is going to be very important.
Yeah, definitely. We have a woman in the seat now, but I don't know. Is there any way we can turn her? Is there any way we can turn her over to the female side where we believe in our own fucking body rights? Is there any way we can do that?
She's very young, but she's been brainwashed.
Let's turn her
for this particular thing. But it's just so telling, when you have someone sworn in as a Supreme Court justice and then they go to a fundraiser, a political fundraiser immediately following, the corruption is so blatant and forward that it blows the mind of someone who has a strong sense of justice, as many witches do.
I'm just gonna breathe deeply, put my energy out there.
Yeah.
Try and
I'm stealing a page from Laura Tempest Zakroff.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my election protection candle. Yeah. I'll start it on the 30th, which will have been yesterday if our timing podcast.
Yeah, we're releasing on Saturday, Samhain the 31st.
Yes.
We're recording today, the 27th. I've been very fucking lacking in putting out the podcast and the videos because...
Not lacking, don't say it.
Because last week we talked about self-care, and that was Family Ditch Day, which is what we did. We had an amazing time. And then I got a migraine for 3 days, and then it was my husband's birthday. And so now, yesterday I woke up and I didn't have a headache. I had a clear head and I was full of energy. So I got some things knocked off my plate, but I'm still playing catch up with the kids' homework from last week. So just know there's going to be about 4 episodes that you will have seen come out this week. Saturday will be this one, and it will come out just on time.
Yay.
Yes. But you know what? Whatever. Shit happens the way it's going to happen, right? Can't make it any different. It's just the way that it goes, babe. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about today is time. Time, and how precious, how fleeting, how fast it goes by.
Well, yeah, even this week, daylight savings time ends.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
This has been the season of ancestor magic. How much of that time has passed, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we entered with your
Scorpio time.
Scorpio season.
I
feel like we were just in Leo season.
Girl, right? That's how I feel, that Leo Libra time, and now we're in a Scorpio time, I have to say though, I really like the Scorpio time. To me, but you know how much I love shadow, so that goes hand in hand with Scorpio. But to me, it's almost like sitting in a nice warm tub.
Just that water energy.
Exactly. Just drinking a glass of wine, candles all around, because those Scorpios are so sensual. And
hey, no astro profiling now.
To me, that is the epitome of sensual, that bathtub love time. So yeah, that's how I view Scorpio. So I think that's one of the reasons I really like Scorpio, not to mention my husband's Scorpio, and he's fucking amazing. So That being said, you are also a Scorpio, and people need to know that your birthday falls on election day.
So for my present people, please vote. Please vote early. Don't rely on the post office if you're doing a mail-in ballot. Take it to the ballot box. And I gotta say, we got our ballots right on the 14th. By the 16th, they were in the ballot box. 10 days later, they have not been received, marked as received, nor have they been counted. And I am becoming a little unhinged about it, because in the past, and I don't know if it's just because of the change of the county that I'm in, which is entirely possible, but in the past, it took between 3 to 5 days for that entire process received to being counted took place.
Do you think that maybe they're only checking that ballot box occasionally, like it's scheduled checks?
Well, I would think that they would do it sooner than 10 days.
Well, I would think so too. You know what? I never knew until my husband told me. I never knew that you could actually go online and see when they received your ballot, that they counted your ballot. I never knew that you could do that. Well, I just thought you put it in the ballot box and there it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that they had done it, but I was struggling for a while trying to figure out how I could do it in this new area that I'm in. And it's all about going to the state election site. So if you're in Washington, it's washington.gov/elections. And you put in your name and your birthday and you can see. It doesn't say how you voted, which is good, but it just says, yes, we received your ballot, and yes, it's been counted. So
that's nice.
10 days now, my ballot's been where the fuck is it? I think that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. And when I was in my public service days, if I had waited 10 days to do anything, I would have lost my job.
Well, let's not get into that these days. Anywho, hopefully today you'll click on there and it'll be received and counted. Let's just put it that way.
I'm hoping, but I'm going to be checking like constantly, because it's the only thing I can control right now.
True.
That I have done my part. I have participated.
That is very true. And in a world where people are feeling so out of control right now, that is the one thing that they control, which is also why I believe that there's so much friction connected to it as well, because people are feeling as though this is my fight for control. You know what I'm saying? And the world is spinning around me. I can't catch up. This is my fight for control, which I believe feeds the frustration between the different parties as well, not to mention other things too, but we're not going to mention those other things today.
No, I don't know. I'm gonna start going out there, man. Hashtag the Electoral College is voter suppression. Let's get rid of it now. Because even after we voted, as we saw in 2016, that may not matter. So yeah. You can only control what you can control.
Exactly. And changes can only be made one step at a time. One step at a time.
Yep.
So, all right. So let's talk about, once again, one step at a time. Let's go ahead and talk about that time. Yeah, it's the start of Scorpio season. Yay, Scorpios, you sexy, secretive motherfuckers.
No, we are
so much.
Not necessarily secretive. We are secret.
Hello. You are secret keepers, yes, but you are also very secretive. And unless someone asks a Scorpio a direct question, that Scorpio is not going to give fucking information. Why? That is secretive. Okay. So don't even.
So just go blab out to everybody everything that's going on with me. Okay.
Sure. And also, Scorpios are very, very, which, this is not a bad thing. I'm not saying any of this is a bad thing. Very selective of the people that they pull into that inner sanctum, or inner sanctum of themselves,
We have few ride or die.
Yes, exactly. Which is not bad. You know, I have to say that my husband is extremely wise in the friends that he has chosen, and I love them all like they are family. You know what I mean? Um, so and they're just amazing people. Whereas me, I've had some friends where I'm like, who the fuck are you? What time in my life was I in that I picked you to be my friend? You know, we're done. But
We're very,
now,
Scorpios are meant to be very devoted and loyal.
yeah, oh,
And
totally.
and we
100.
look for that quality in other people. Absolutely.
100% devoted and loyal. 100, almost to a fault. Where like me, I pick friends. Well, I'm much better at it now because now it's about quality versus quantity, of course. And honestly, I have like a grip of friends, just a little teeny group of friends, and that's how I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, allergies. Excuse me.
I know, right? They're so bad. But I will say that Scorpios are extremely loyal. They are. One of the things too, yeah, one of the things too that I think needs to be put out there is that if you hurt one, you should very much expect sometime in your life, you'll never know really when, but sometime in your life that you're gonna fucking get stung by the Scorpio.
Do not betray us. Do not.
Gonna get stuck. Do you guys, Scorpios hold shit forever, dude. Ever.
I don't know.
Ever.
No, I think we will forgive, but we won't forget because that's how you learn.
But see, the point of forgiveness is also not to continue thinking about ways to get revenge.
Oh no.
This person.
I don't think that, like, I think what it is Scorpios rebel when the universe provides that karmic get back.
Yes.
I think that's more it.
Yeah.
I don't sit and think, oh, how can I do this? How can I do that?
I can understand that. I also know that Scorpios have a very quick tongue. Very quick tongue. Very quick to
oh, we don't,
very quick to come
we don't
back.
mince words. There's no mincing words.
Yeah, let's put it that way.
And we try to the words that we choose are very careful. But they tend to come pretty naturally.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is, I'll put this out there. It's so funny how we all go around and we're like, you know, be authentic, you know, this and that. Yeah. And then you talk about a Scorpio being authentic, especially with that slicing, stinging tail, which is their tongue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're saying, be authentic. But then we're like, oh my God, you fucking totally just hurt my feelings. And then the Scorpio's over here like, but I was fucking being authentic, dude. I was being authentic. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a little battle, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing about Scorpios that I have to note is that we love regularity and routine. We thrive in that kind of environment. It's like that's why, you know, I could set like a regular coffee date with somebody and I'm going to be there all the time. And if I can't, because life gets in the way, it really messes with my psyche. You know, that's my time to connect with people or whatever. You know, I like to know that on this day, I'm going to be working towards this. And it just allows me to thrive better. And that can be difficult with the people in our lives, especially if they tend to be, oh, I don't know, Aquarius.
Not calling anybody out or anything, you know. Another thing that I've found, and I think it's, and I know that a lot of people need this and want this in their life too, but I think it's one of the things that my husband and I really connect on and is really in common with us is the purpose in life. Like we have to feel as though we have a purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? Me being service, because I'm Virgo, you know what I mean? Yeah. And him being with that loyalty and that constructive mind, like that engineering mind, that always wants to keep building and keep producing and things like that. It's very, the longer we're together, the more I'm still figuring out about him and his personality and all those things, which I absolutely love.
Right.
Like the other
That's
day
very Scorpio too.
yeah, I know, right? But the other day I did something and he goes, "What made you think of doing that?" And I go, "You don't know all my tricks." I go, "We've been together for a minute, but you still don't know all my tricks." So there. I got secrets too. Shit.
Oh, that's funny. That is so funny. Oh man. And I really hope that my birthday night begins to indicate that we've turned the corner on this very terrible year of 2020 and last 4 years. I really hope the world is watching. And I just got to say, if you're not in the United States and you're listening to this podcast, please know that the masses are not supportive of this. It is a vocal minority that are steering this train and corrupting what was good about our country.
Unfortunate but true. Hold on one second. Unfortunate but true, for sure.
Yes. So I'm crossing my fingers and my toes and everything that the birthday present I get is a shift in energy.
Oh, girl, I wish nothing but for that. Nothing but for that. That would be an amazing birthday wish come true. For sure. For sure, babe. Let's talk. Oh, as we're talking about time, this year on Samhain, my husband and I are celebrating our 14th year together already. Yay. Can you fucking believe that? Because I can't. I can't. I have no idea where this time has gone. And as I'm sitting back and kind of ruminating on that and reminiscing on all of the ups and downs that we've really been on together and how much of work this relationship has been, like fucking work, you know what I mean? Like not the loving of one another, that's not it, but the learning how to communicate with one another, because we're still learning, and I think we'll always be. Learning each other's love language. The bringing in stepchildren, having to deal with that. Not only that, having a child on fucking life support, you know what I'm saying, for having to deal with what could have potentially been a loss, you know what I mean? Like, and then having another surprise baby on top of it, and I mean, and it's been a constant moving forward. But it's like, I think that there are days where he and I are just like, let's just sit on the couch and take a fucking nap. We need that. You know what I'm saying? And as I'm sitting there thinking about all of that, I'm like, holy shit. Before I know it, I'm going to be the one transitioning through that veil. I'm going to be the one transitioning through it and coming back out to speak to my young ones. You know what I mean? And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm so tired of the grind forward. And all of this has to connects with the card that we drew today. Your thing too. You know what I'm saying? I'm so tired of that drive forward, that continuous drive forward to attain and establish and things like that. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired.
Oh yeah.
I just want to start relishing in the time that I have here now, and part of that,
I feel that so deeply.
Yeah, right.
I do. That was one of the messages of the reflection that I did with my crone crowning ceremony is you have to slow down. You have to be patient. You have to be in the now, enjoy what you have, take those time and rest, you know, and rest allows you to do that cherishing
Right.
that you want to do.
And you don't think this funny thing is like this kicked in when I took the family ditch day. By the way, we had such a great fucking time for 2 days when my daughter was over here. We played board games. We played this new game on our phones where all of us were in a different room and you had to find out who the killer was. It's almost like Clue, but not. It's really cool. It's called Among Us. Amazing. So we played that, and we just had went to the pumpkin patch. Like we had really, really awesome family fun time, which really made me sit and think, oh my God, I've really not done this enough. You know what I'm saying? And it also made me regret, but then I was like, you know what? Don't fucking sit on regret.
No.
Just start making sure that you start doing the shit now, not tomorrow, now. You know what I'm saying? Which is also why we're 4 podcasts late and and all that stuff. But really, I mean, I'm in a place where I'm like, if that's what's going to happen, then that's what's going to happen. And if it means me taking that time for either myself to sit on the couch and take a moment of cherishing time, then that's what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Deep couch sitting is an important part of my Scorpio regular routine, let me tell you.
Deep couch sitting is amazing, but my old body doesn't want to, is having a harder time getting off that couch lately. Let's just put it that way.
Especially when the familiars are in your lap and won't let you up.
Yes, girl. And you know that one of them's 20-something pounds. So yeah, he's like a weighted blanket. He goes boop right there. And then all you hear is, and what are you going to do? You got to fall asleep to that shit. You got to fall asleep to it. Duke, I love him so much. And that all of this takes us right into our self-care. And so my self-care today still revolves around time. It's organization. And organization comes in so many different ways. And when I'm talking about organization, I'm talking about Virgo organization. And there is one thing that all Virgos are amazing at, and that is fucking organizing, making our lists, doing our to-dos, making sure that we're checking shit off twice. And one of the things that I have forgotten to organize in all of my to-dos is time out. Time out. So my first organizational process starting today is going to be an organization of my time, period. Not the physical things, which comes next, but for me, it's going to be an organization of my time and releasing the things that are just, oh, okay, this is a to-do, but is anybody going to die if I don't fucking do it this week? No. All right. You know what I mean? Or what is actually a priority this week? Spending this time with my kids or, you know, working on my website. You know what I'm saying? Because to a Virgo, that's work, you know, and we love working on websites as well. So I do. But I'm going to have to think, okay, you know what? My kids are getting older. They're not getting any younger. My website is fine the way it is. I don't need to do that work, right? I mean, I was going to touch it up, but whatever. My babies are getting older.
Mercury retrograde is done.
Exactly. My babies are getting older. One of these days, that veil is calling me into it. I need to pay the fuck attention, and I need to start doing this now. So it's really a difference in perception, a difference in choosing priorities, and an organization of my time regarding and revolving around all of those things.
Mhm.
And yours is kind of that way too, which is really cool. What's
Yeah.
your self-care?
Well, I wanted to talk about taking a step back. And it kind of aligns with what you're saying, and taking time and recognizing that it's the one thing we absolutely cannot control. And last week I was I'm really working hard on my mindfulness and taking the time to meditate every day, and not just once. Like I do meditate every morning when I do my yoga. It's a quick little 5 minute, maybe 10-minute thing. But I've been trying to integrate something in the like mid-afternoon and focus my energies as far as what's troubling me, and how can I use that meditation to bring answers. And I went into the meditation thinking, what am I going to do now? I 9+ years ago, I stepped away from corporate America, and I was trying to get back into it. And I'm getting the message from the universe that maybe corporate America is not where I need to go, because they don't seem to want me. But after I did that meditation, there was notifications on my phone, and there was this random Google alert about this Japanese concept called ikigai, which is translated into English as reason for being. And it talks about how your mental state within 4 components gives you the reason for being. So, what do you love? What does the world need? What are you good at? And what can you get paid for? And it's like this 4-circle Venn diagram. And right in the center where those 4 concepts meet is the ikigai. And it's the reasons that you find your life purpose, your reason for existing, and why you get up in the morning, and your motivation to move forward every day. And people who know their direction and know their intention have an objective experience, and experience less anxiety, less fatigue, less negative effects on their nervous system. Like you and I both have been having issues with our belly, and you with
Yeah.
being sick, and I've been having this weird acid reflux. And I just found it very serendipitous and a clear divine download that, oh, this is how I figure that path forward. I know what I love to do. I know what the world needs. I know what I'm good at. And now how do I figure out how to get paid for it? So,
Or maybe, I mean, yes, figure out how to get paid for it, but in the interim, maybe just start doing it. And you never know what's going to fall in your lap, right?
yeah. I mean, I've been doing things that I haven't been getting paid for years.
Me too, sister. Being
But
a mom is one of them.
but so looking, being exposed to this new concept, this ikigai, it's been very illuminating, and it just reinforced to me that taking a step back is self-care. If you need a minute in the day to collect yourself, to refocus, to take a breath, do it.
Yeah.
Because there's probably something on the other side of that that's going to illuminate your path forward. It's going to provide a solution. You could get that divine download. Oh my God, I've been looking at this all wrong. I need to shift my perspective and work on this, whatever the case may be.
Yes, I completely agree. 100% agree. 100%. Oh, let's just take a breath.
That ocean breath, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about our reduce, reuse, recycle, because we're always trying to give back to our Mother Earth.
Yes.
Today, mine is, and we're going to say the name that you guys used to call it, which is really cute. Mine is You know, I am one that loves paper and pen, paper
Mhm.
and pencil, and then I type it up, right? I don't, that's just my thought process. And so normally I'll only use one side of that paper.
Mhm.
And
'Cause
then
it's
if I do, I make notes on the other side if I need to, right?
Mhm.
But I save it. And then what we've been doing is like the kids have been doing school projects and stuff. So I have them just use the clear side on the other side so we can reduce our paper usage, you know. And your family lovingly calls it goose, good on one side. And I
Yep.
love that.
We
I
had
love
a
that.
newspaper drawer.
Yes, exactly. I've got a box. So
Mhm.
that's exactly it, you know, like, hey, go get some, and I call it the scratch paper. Go get scratch paper, you know, but I have that too, like little cut up pieces here and there, you know what I mean? Which I often use for moons, and that's what I have people write stuff on.
My daughter used to take them and cut them up into fours and then clip the top, and she'd have a little notebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can do so much with it. There's no, I mean, until it's completely used up, there's no reason to throw it away, you know, or recycle it even, you know. Tell what's yours today?
I want to talk about light emitting diodes, e.g. LED bulbs. Moving in here, the former owners had not transitioned everything to LED. Now there were some LED lights. The mood lighting in our living room is LED above our big arch, but and I have no idea when those suckers burn out how we're gonna fix it, but down the road. But LED bulbs can save you 6 times uh, over an incandescent. So like, let's say the average bulb, just throwing numbers out there, takes up $1 a year. It's normally a little bit more than that, but $1 a year, your LED bulb can it's $6 a year for the incandescent, whereas an LED bulb, it would cost you $1 a year. So when you think about how much we use lighting, especially here in the Pacific Northwest during the big dark, I mean, the lights are on almost all the time.
Yes, girl.
Inside. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like I'm like, first thing in the morning, I mean, the sun's up and I still have to turn on lights.
Yep.
And so LEDs, I know that when people go to the hardware store and they're looking at them, they're like, what?
Yeah,
You
because
know,
they're not inexpensive.
they're not inexpensive. They're way cheaper than they used to be.
Yes, they are.
The Viking and I started moving towards LED lighting almost 10 years ago. And from 10 years ago to now, they are way cheaper, like 75% cheaper. But if you have things like we do, we have some recessed lighting, those bulbs are expensive. But
Yes.
just chunking it out and just, you know, every single time, and especially if the light burns out, because incandescent's going to burn out way before an LED is done.
Totally.
And
100%.
so every time it burns out, or we just, you know, okay, it's this pay period, it's time to replace another bulb. And in the end, we're going to save a whole lot of money on our power bill because, like I said, the big dark, we've got 6 months of darkness ahead of us.
Girl, please, it's like 8 months. Let's just be real. Okay.
No,
It's 8 months. It's
much.
8.
It's not that much.
I've also found I like LEDs better too because they produce less heat.
Yes.
You know, when you use the regular bulb, you touch it and it fries your hand, you know.
Yes.
The LEDs produce less heat, meaning they can potentially cause less fires. You know what I'm saying? So I like the LEDs, and I think that spending the money in the beginning so you can save the money down the long run is smart.
Well, and when you're living in a place where the energy production is not renewable, i.e. coal, I just can't. I'm so glad that Washington State coal is not the primary way that they get power, because that
Yes.
would just gut me.
Well, yeah, I mean, our state wouldn't be as amazing as it is if that was the case.
True. True.
All right, what you got for brew today, baby?
I'm talking about, since, belly time, I made sauerkraut. So it's not going to be kept in this jar, but I put it in this jar just for visual purposes. But all it is cabbage. And I get a little fancy, and I have some shredded carrots in there. The red cabbage in the store didn't look so great. So a lot of times I'll put red cabbage in there too. But this is more traditional. And then there's a little bit of pickling spices. You do not need to put pickling spices in there. We just prefer the flavor. But it's just cabbage and salt. And you shred the cabbage. And if you have like 5 pounds of cabbage, there's like 3 tablespoons of kosher salt that you use.
Gotcha. That's a lot of salt.
Yeah, I used a really small head because it's just the Viking and I. You could even, if you wanted to cheat, go and buy the pre-packaged like coleslaw mix and make it that way. But for this batch that I made, there's probably like a tablespoon of kosher salt. That's it. So what you do is,
and trust me, I'm not complaining about the salt. If I could have my own salt lick, I would.
I know. Salt is so good for you. It's gotten a bad rep, but that's because our sodium intake with processed foods is so high. But when you're talking about fermented foods, it's a natural probiotic, which helps our gut health. And if your gut is healthy, you are healthy.
Correct.
So I try really hard to make sure that I'm eating a fermented food every day, whether that's yogurt or sauerkraut or what have you. But you put the shredded cabbage in a metal bowl. You want a reactive bowl, not like doing bread where you have to use glass. And you put it in there and you sprinkle the salt over it and mix it all up. And then you put it where mine is going to go is in this crock. This crock is primarily for making sauerkraut. And you take a muller like you have for making like mojitos or whatever, and you just tamp it down. And then it sits in cool in the dark for, I don't know, 72 hours at least. But the first 24 hours, you want to check it a couple of days and make sure you can see there's liquid.
Yeah.
And you want the kraut to stay under the liquid. So you get your muller out and you push it all down so it stays under that. And then you can just keep it in the fridge for weeks and weeks and weeks. And you've got yourself some sauerkraut. Now, it doesn't get that kind of sauerkraut look to it for a couple of weeks, but you can start eating it after 72 days and it's got some, or 72 hours rather, and it's got some probiotic benefits to it. But the longer it sits, like you could just put it, if you have like an actual like cool cupboard that some people do in their house, they may not even know that's what it is. They're just like, oh, this closet's really cold. Well, yeah, it's for stuff like potatoes and onions and sauerkraut.
Yeah. We use the garage for stuff like that.
Yeah, if you have an attached garage, our house in North Bend had that, and that's exactly how I used it too. The thing is that it needs to be kept in the dark. And next week, I'm going to show everybody how to make kimchi, which is another fermented food, but it's got a little bit more kick to it than
it does. Yes, it does. It kicks you in the bunghole later too.
Yeah, but it's good for you. It's good for you.
I had to put that out there. I had to put it out there.
Oh yeah, so I'll get that recipe up on the website here after the episode drops, and seriously, if you just like, you're feeling a little peckish right before dinner, but you don't want to kill your appetite, take a couple of spoonfuls of kraut. It's great for your belly. It's great for your digestion. Sauerkraut gets a really bad rep, but it's how our ancestors made it through the winter. Those pickled foods are how they survived the harshness of winter.
Yes.
And there's a reason for it. There's a reason that they stayed healthy and survived. It's all that good microbes for your gut. And I think modern man has gotten too far away from that.
Oh, well, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So the kitchen witches, get to it.
100%. All right. Let's talk about number one. This is hitting on Samhain. So first of all, happy fucking Witches New Year, everyone. Happy Samhain, happy All Hallows Eve, happy Day of the Dead, happy all of those things.
I'm hoping the weather holds. I want my bomb.
Oh, me too.
Damn it.
Me too. Which is, I think, one of the reasons why this time factor and the veil factor is hitting me so much right now, to be quite honest with you. You know, all these, the ancestor messages coming through, I'm like, it just reminds me, and I love them, but it just reminds me as well that I'm going to be an ancestor one day, you know, and who knows when that's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, I need to start putting shit into perspective, right? And I read this thing really quick online that I want to read. And because I'm putting all this time into perspective, this is one of the reasons why on Samhain, I am most going to celebrate life. Even with all of our ancestors and those coming through the veil, I think I want to mark it as a celebration of life. And I'm going to read this, and this is one of the reasons why. Okay. So, it was not the witches who burned, it was women who were seen as too beautiful, too outspoken, had too much water in the well. Yes, seriously. Who had a birthmark, women who were too skilled with herbal medicine, too loud, too quiet, too much red in the hair, women who had a strong nature connection, women who danced, women who sang, or anything else, really. Any woman was at risk of burning in the 1600s. Sisters testified and turned on each other when their babies were held under the ice. Children were tortured to confess their experiences with witches by being fake executed in ovens. Women were held underwater, and if they could float, they were guilty and executed. If they sank and drowned, they were innocent. Women were thrown off cliffs. Women were put in deep holes in the ground. Why do I write this? Because knowing our history is important when we're building a new world. When we are doing the healing work of our lineages and as women. To give the women who were slaughtered a voice, to give them redress and a change of peace. It was not witches who were burned, it was women. And this was written by a beautiful soul, and I'm going to try and pronounce the name, Fia Fostrom. And let's see, it's an engraving, or the engraving was by, it comes with an amazing picture too. It's on my Facebook page. The engraving was by R. Brand Amour. I believe that this is one of the, I love this fucking message, first of all.
Yep.
Not only is it a reminder of things from past, it's also a reminder of things that we still have to change to this day. It's also a reminder that life is fucking fleeting and that we do need to celebrate every day, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in this morbid time right now, you know? So celebrate those ancestors that have passed. Celebrate the fact that you are here. Celebrate the fact that you get to wake up every day, even in this world that we feel is very chaotic and we have no control of right now. It's still a gift. Still a gift. Okay, so happy
While the U.S. has had daily COVID cases, more daily COVID cases than any past week than ever before. And no, it's not because of more testing. So yes, we need to celebrate life because the plague is knocking at the door.
Yes, that's fact, 100% fact.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not done with this. We
No.
are far from done with all of this.
Nope.
So if we don't start celebrating life and the gift of just being here every day, I really feel that we are going to just continue to fall deeper and deeper into a fucking pit of despair. And so I believe that that is one of the changes that we can make in this world, is to realize that life is so fleeting and time does not come back to us. And it's time to start taking that action now and choosing to grab the day by the fucking ballot and do some work, right? Okay.
Yes, take that step back, turn the perspective sideways, upside down, whatever you need.
Exactly. And one of the things that was so cool about everything that you and I are talking about today, because we don't plan this conversation prior to.
We make our notes on
exactly,
and then come together and go, oh, isn't that interesting?
Exactly. And I write up my shit prior to drawing my tarot cards, by the way.
Yeah.
And so what was so interesting today was the card that I drew for today. And today's card is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And the 10 of Pentacles upright is a celebration of family, stability, finances, abundance, knowing of worth, right? When it is in reverse, it means something different. And the 10 of Pentacles in reverse tells us that this time in life, especially this time in life, could have us questioning what our definition of wealth and abundance are. We start realizing how we have been the collectors of things and how it's time to build our wealth and legacy in a different way. To be ready to question our need for stability and security and commitment. What is that need? Why do we have that need? You know, how can we free up some of those boundaries a little bit and allow ourselves to fly as well as be grounded? It's time to think about what you want, minus the outside influences. It's a reminder that more money equals more problems. It's time to reevaluate. Choose a, so if you're struggling financially or experiencing challenges with family stability, self-worth stability, things like that.
Hey, raising my hand.
It's time to reevaluate. It's time to choose a course of action that will help you regain your sense of security and self-worth, which is exactly what you did with Ikigai. Yeah. When you read that, you chose to start looking at things in a different manner, right? And so that was you choosing to reconstruct your sense of abundance, worth, stability, and self-worth.
Yes.
You know, and me choosing to organize my time definitely is me choosing to prioritize the abundance of family and what that is really worth to me versus making money, versus being popular, versus, you know, having my name out there. You know what I'm saying? None of that matters when it comes to the time that I could be spending with my babies, you know, all 4 of them. So even though she's almost 30, she's still my damn baby. My oldest one is. So that was my 10 of Pentacles card for today. And I hope that everyone takes that message in, especially today during Samhain, because it is very important to remember what worth really means, you know, especially with that celebration of life, that celebration of our ancestors, the legacy that they have left, and the knowing and choosing of the legacy that we are going to leave as well.
I like it.
That's that one. And on to our spell today. So last week I did a spell for the full moon, and it was kind of a spell of, reconstructing the world and all of us getting together and combating the evil in the world. This one today is a little bit of a softer spell. And because the full moon is not only for, gratification, it's also for release as well. So this one is a little bit about release and illumination.
Great.
Moon of blue, moon of full light, I ask that you cleanse away the toxicity from me tonight. As I shower in your rays that shine from sky to ground, it is with the vision of releasing the old and accepting new growth that I am bound. Open my eyes to new ways of creating a stable and healthy foundation, and share that message throughout the world with your full moon illumination. So it is.
So it is. Thank you for spending this time with us. Go in peace, love, and light.
The circle is open, but unbroken. Until we meet again, my darlings, merry part and blessed be.